Hey guys, Jonathan here for the Blue Wizard Project, just coming at you with the next part of my playthrough of The Secret of Monkey Island. I'm going to do things a little bit
Herman,
differently for the rest of these
please
videos.
return our key
I
to the
noticed
monkey
when I
head.
went back and was editing the other
The
ones that
cannibals.
there's just a ton of dead air and a lot of just downtime just because I'm walking around and clicking on random stuff and trial and erroring my way through the games.
He's lost weight.
And it makes it
Never
a
looked
little bit
better.
difficult to fill the airtime there. So I finished playing the game
pretty
last
bad.
night. I'm doing the recording right now,
You never saw
just
him when
voicing
he was
over it,
still
and I'll
alive.
just make comments as I play through it. So this is an area
I've
that I
got some pressing
didn't
business
walk
to attend
into
to.
last time,
Yes, me too.
and I'll be quiet a little bit here so you can hear what they're saying. I know I just skipped over. Okay, I guess they're done talking. Never mind.
He doesn't look good.
Yeah, I cut out a lot of the dead air, me just clicking on stuff or walking back and forth trying to figure stuff out. At this part, I know I need that rope, because if you remember last
I
time,
don't see anything
or
special
the
about
time
it.
before that, I can't remember, it's been a while since I saw the old videos, there were like those oars at the bottom of the ravine, and I need a rope to get down there. And I'm not 100% sure when I was playing this how to do this. Again, I've never played this game before, so all of it was trial and error, or watching as my wife cringed next to me at how badly I was playing it, and then
No
I knew I
staples
was
to be
on
removed.
the wrong
I don't
track.
see anything special about it. He doesn't look good.
I really wanted to use that stapler on something, but I thought like maybe if I use the stapler I could like pull the ropes out. So here I wanted to see what would happen if I launched this rock in other
It
directions.
won't go further.
And this is one thing that's really funny is you'll see here that I'm going to go up here and I'm going to test some different directions. And I did this for a really long time. Like I went through, and there's like, I don't know, maybe like 9 or 10 different angles you
That
can
doesn't
shoot
seem
it
to
from.
work.
And I didn't shoot it from one angle because I thought I already had. And after I finished the game, Esther was like, oh, actually, you missed one, because if you shoot this rock in a certain direction, something special will happen. And I'll show you guys that at the very end of all of these videos. I went back and did it, and I'll make a comment on it later when it's relevant again. But I was just getting tired of like,
It won't
move
go
it,
further.
walk back up, click on it, shoot the rock, go back down, move it, go back up, click on it. It gets old really fast.
It
One
won't
of
go further.
the only complaints that I have about this game is that everything moves at kind of like a snail's pace, just because like that's how you padded games back then, or that's how games operated back in the day when this was made. So yeah, it wore on me after a while, but you get used to it. In this one, like I said in some of the old ones, if you switch to the classic view where it looks like it did back in the day on PC, you can skip through some of the stuff, you can fast forward it, but it kind of changes the feel of the game, so I didn't really bother with it. So here I think at this point I've already given this monkey 2 bananas. I'm trying to give him more. I figured if I give him enough of these, he'll do something special. I think it's weird that he eats that banana like a spaghetti noodle or something there at the end. I don't know if monkeys really do that. Do monkeys even really eat bananas? I don't actually know. Who knows what lies we're told. It's like we're told that like rabbits like carrots, right? But carrots are like too sweet and they can't process down the sugars in them or whatever, so it can like kill them or something. I think that's right. I don't know. Not a scientist. Here's another place that I hadn't been on. Like I ran my mouse over
The trail
here.
ends here.
So here's a rope and a spyglass.
Warning. Objects in spyglass may be farther away than they appear.
So good warning there. Pick that up. I feel like I would have enjoyed this game a lot more too if I had taken the time to learn these shortcuts. I didn't at all, or if I had hotkeyed them or something. Unfortunately, in the game, like here, I'm looking to see if there's a thing that lets me see everything that I can interact with. There's not. Esther said that she thinks in some of the later games There is a button that lets you do that.
Nothing to look at here.
But
It's rusty. It's rusty.
I
don't
could
think
have.
it'll work.
I wish that you could hotkey it inside the game itself. I don't. I say I would have enjoyed this game more. I actually did like this game quite a bit. Like I said, some of the parts where you're just running back and forth and just clicking on everything
Good, strong stuff.
were a little bit annoying. That's one of the reasons why I don't play adventure games typically. Like I've dabbled in a few. I've beaten Broken Age. I think I mentioned that in another video. And I've played the very beginning of Grim Fandango. That's still on my list of games to like get through one day.
Ooh, that's refreshing.
But I just haven't really invested myself in the genre much.
That doesn't seem to work.
Alright, so I just fiddled with that for a while. Came back here. I'm going to use the rope on this strong branch. And go down here. But I need another rope
Looks sturdy.
to tie onto the sturdy stump.
I can't reach that from here. It's a pair of oars.
I just received a text from my wife saying it turns out monkeys actually do not eat bananas. As we know them, at least. Actually, the edible banana that we all like to mix with peanut butter is a cultivated domestic plant that monkeys would never even encounter in the wild unless they're around human habitations
Hey,
where bananas
nice
have been
spyglass.
planted.
Looks just like. Say, where is my spyglass? Oh, perfect.
Oh, wait a
I'm
second.
gone 5 minutes and somebody comes in here and dumps gunpowder all over the floor. Naturally, I don't think you had anything to do with it. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that you came in here to prowl around right after some mysterious person dirtied up my nice clean floor.
That's made of dirt. Sorry, I saw
a monkey
leaving
leaving here. He must have done it.
You don't fool me, Sonny.
Excuse me, I've got some pressing business to attend to.
Yes, me too.
That's a crazy way. Oh, I also played Goblin Quest 3. I think I mentioned that in the video. I was just going through my head of other games like this I played. At any rate, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Like, the bananas that we eat are super different than bananas in the wild. Although monkeys do, like in Japan and Taiwan, I think. I think there were monkeys in Taiwan. I could be
That
wrong
doesn't
about
seem
that.
to work.
I remember being in areas where, like, it was like, yeah, don't
Can't pick that up.
don't keep food out. Or Thailand, when I was in
That doesn't
Thailand
seem to
as
work.
well,
It's rusty.
there
I don't think
were
it'll
like
work.
signs that said like, yeah, don't keep food out, or like, don't have stuff hanging on the edges of your bags because monkeys will run up and grab it. So I'm sure they've had bananas there, but like, are bananas toxic to them? Who knows? Who knows? Running this way. I don't know why I didn't cut this part out. Just have to bear with me.
Boy, it sure is hot here.
So I knew that there's something to do with this dam, and I thought that what I had to do was like put the gunpowder down, and then take the flint and hit it against the cannonball to ignite it. That is not what you have to do, and you'll see here. Yeah, see, I'm gonna try to put the.
That doesn't seem to work.
What I want to do is put the cannonball next to it and then hit it with the flint and make a spark, but that was not working. And then, actually, this part Esther gave me a hint
Flint
here.
works best with things
Because then
made
I
of
was like,
steel.
earlier, or because then I was trying this, I was like,
That
oh,
doesn't
okay,
seem to
then I'll
work.
use the telescope and I'll like hold it up to the sunlight and use that
That doesn't
to
seem to work.
burn the gunpowder. And then Esther was like, oh, you actually have to dismantle the. Excuse me, you have to dismantle the telescope. Which is what I will do here, eventually. I think that's long pauses when Esther was telling me that. Any day.
Oh, there's a nifty lens in it.
Yeah, there you go. Then you can take the lens And I was like,
That doesn't
okay,
seem
it's
to
not
work.
working on the gunpowder. You actually have to use it on the sun. I like how crappy that rock explosion looked. I actually didn't know there were like 4 or 5 Monkey Island games. I knew there were 2, but so now the pond is filled up. The barrel or the log is lifted, dropping the guy into the ground, meaning I can pick up the rope.
He doesn't look good.
I like that it says unhealthy looking man. He's like literally a skeleton. Grogglements.
Ooh, that's refreshing.
Gotta use those Grogglements. I'm actually sad because
Ick.
there's no more uses for the Grogglements, and I try to use them on everything. They're my favorite item in this
I can't
game.
pick that up. He doesn't look good.
This is the exciting stuff that I cut out of the video. Just like, is my mouse picking up anything? If I click on every item? If I do everything? Go to the crack, climb down the rope. So after this game, I have 2 more to play, and then my time playing games specifically for the fundraiser part of the Blue Wizard project is done, even though fundraising ended almost 3 months ago. So it took me a while to get through this one just because like I didn't really feel any pressure to, and then I missed a bunch of weeks that
It's
Ian
a
had
pair
to
of
like
oars.
fill in because I was overseas or the new semester of school started
It's
here in Korea.
spooky, and I'm not going any further. It's spooky, and I'm not going any further.
So the
It's
next one
spooky,
after
and I'm
this,
not
I
going any
believe that
further.
we're going to air is Ian playing through Ghostbusters, I believe drunk. So you guys can look forward to that. And then after that will be me playing through Teslagrad. And then probably Ian playing through something else. I'm not sure what. And then me playing through Dark Souls 3. Probably with a few of my friends. Use
It's a
them
pair of oars.
Go to the rowboat.
That's strange. It says sea monkey.
Use the-
I can paddle it with these oars.
This part, I don't really get the controls for it. Like, look at how slow you move. But then, like, when you click on certain areas, it makes you go really fast. And I think it's when you click on, like, the areas where it'll, like, take you to another screen that makes you go faster. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Been exhausted lately. This is the high intensity action. Point and click adventures. Can you feel it? Can you feel the excitement? That's one of like my pet peeves in games is stuff that like takes a super long time unnecessarily. There's one game that my wife picked up for me, I believe, on a Steam sale called... Oh, what is that game called? I can't bring it up on the screen because it might make this recording program error. I'll try to look it up on the phone while I'm talking to you guys. The point that I was trying to make is it's a game where you play through... It's almost like a Shadow of the Colossus kind of dealy, but it is 2D kind of Legend of Zelda, like old
Cannibals.
school Legend of Zelda view.
I'm not giving you bloodsuckers your key to the monkey head until you
wait a
return my
minute.
banana picker. HT.
Okay. So you basically play it from like a top-down view, like the old school Legend of Zelda games, and it plays a bit like Shadow of the Colossus, where like bad guys, there's only bosses, and when you fight them, you have to like figure out what their patterns are and all that kind of stuff. And the game itself was cool, and I really enjoyed it. And the whole thing of like trying to figure out how to fight the bad guys. Oh, the thing they didn't say is like you don't use a sword in this one. You have a bow and arrow, but you only have one arrow. And the way that it works, like when you shoot it, when you shoot it, you have to like draw it back to yourself. And it was a really fun game, but it you know, I'm probably not going to find it in here when I'm editing this video. I'll just put it across the bottom of the screen so you guys can know what game it was. I'll keep scrolling through just in case, but the problem with this game is like every time you died, instead of just giving you the option to like start immediately in the fight again from the beginning.
But I'll bet it's empty.
Alright, you can see here that I'm in the Cannibals Village. Instead of giving you the option to just restart the fight right where you left it off and just keep trying and keep dying, it would like start you at this like teleportation point. And for some of these things, the teleportation point was like right outside the door of the boss, which wasn't a big deal. But sometimes it was like a 1 minute walk, which doesn't seem like that much. But like bosses one-shot you, so like if you died and like you hadn't figured out the method, like it felt like such a colossal waste of time. In contrast, I'm playing Celeste right now on my Switch, and that's one that like it plays kind of like Super Meat Boy from what my understanding is. But like when you die, just immediately you start back on that screen, you get your next go, and it makes it so much more bearable. That game that I was talking about, again, I'll put it on the screen. Like I'm trying to look it up on my Steam app, but that's not really working so well. Because one, my Steam library is loaded with stuff that I picked up in bundles and stuff like that, and two,
is that a banana in your pocket,
don't remember
or are you just glad to see us?
Letter it starts with this.
You've got a lot of nerve stealing from the notorious Monkey Island cannibals.
You're cannibals?
Well, yes. Although lately we've been trying to stay away from red meat.
Only for health reasons. We're still as vicious as ever.
Oh, especially with tourists who try to steal our stuff for souvenirs. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
What do I have to say? Don't eat me, I'm a mighty pirate, go ahead.
Go ahead and eat me.
One of them was like,
See if I
look
can.
out, there's a three-headed monkey behind
whatever
you.
you say. We might eat you, we might let you go. We'll have to talk about it with the village nutritionist. Come, let me show you our guest hut.
I think that was the part where it said that.
That should do it.
The screen I'm previewing this on is pretty small, so the text doesn't really show up very clearly for me.
To the ghost pirate LeChuck. We must protest your acquisition of our voodoo antiroot. We realize that it presents a hazard to you and your crew, but this is thievery. The Monkey Island Cannibals.